Hello. Is this thing on? I hope this is working. Just hang on a second. This is the first time I've done this in like 36,000 days. Or something like that. I'm just trying to select some music for you, for anybody who does rock up. We had a bit of an issue tonight. We've ended up having to go with sadly with no warship. Just some technical issues here that's not going to allow us to link up. So I'm just trying to find my old playlists that I used to use from many moons ago. And then we can, anyone who wants to ask me any questions or wants to bring up some topics that have been happening in the old streaming and content creation world, we will have a look. I'm just trying to find. Hey, straight, how you going, mate? I'm just trying to remember how to do this thing. Just trying to find some. Yeah, pretty good, mate. Pretty good. I've just been up a few. I've been actually trying to get my streaming gear like completely ready the last couple of nights. So I don't know if the audio is working. I know that I can hear an echo in my voice. Like I can hear my own. Oh, cheers! It's the Radman one, right? I'm pretty sure that's the one I settled on in the end. Yeah, it is. I can see the green underneath. Yeah. Yeah. Cheers. The old merch. I'm sort of crossing over the universes, the multiverses. I said I wasn't going to do that, but anyway, I'm struggling to find my old hats. Oh, come on. Where I believe that this. I'm trying to find the fixed. It doesn't say that it's Twitch safe anymore. This mob used to do Twitch safe music, which I signed up for. Let's just go the old let's just go the old Harris Heller. We're just gonna go Harris Heller. This is not telling me whether this person is Twitch friendly or not. They used to be. This is where I used to listen to all of music. But I am giving it away, yeah. It sounds a bit funny, but it's all good. What do you mean funny? Let me know what you mean by funny, because I've to me it sounds a bit tinny, but I've been trying to work out. It's not crackly or anything, is it? Now Spotify is playing right now. I think I've got to go. What is that doing that? All right. This isn't exactly what we want, is it? This is going to put me to sleep, this stuff. No crackles. It sounds a bit tinny. Yeah, and I can't work it out. Eh? I might just have to play with the equalization of my mic, which I have been. I've just been trying to, let me just add a little bit more bass into it. Maybe that's... I can never get it right. Equalizer, here we go. Let me chuck that one up there. This one down a little bit. I don't know. I don't know my equalization very good. Streamer issues, exactly. So I'm back in it. That means that I'm 100% a streamer again. Right, see all. What I want here is a little bit of Alright, now let me just change the sound settings now, so I've got control of the... Yeah, I've got like... I don't know how anything's changed, like... I don't know if it's... am I too close to it? Maybe I need to sit back here. I've gotten all of my audio panels and everything put up in the last couple of days. I still can't get it. But, you know, as we said, streamer issues. What I want here is... Sorry, this has just caught me on the fly, so I'm trying to figure things out. Spotify Music, I want it to be... There we go. Now I can control Spotify Music on its own away from the system. Which is here, I believe. Yeah. How's that music? Yeah, so I was just you can separate different apps that you have open to a different slider on the Go XLL. To start with, it was just on my system, so it was with all of my PC sounds, and I like to have Spotify on its own slider so I can adjust the music. Yeah. Let me know if that's too loud. It's always louder in my ears than what it is for everyone else. I'm actually going to I can hear an echo, and it really annoys the piss out of me. I'm going to down my mic a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I've got to keep tinkering with my mic and my mic setup. I don't know what's going on. There's I don't know if the sound's bouncing off the it shouldn't do, but I don't know. I've tried to audio file my room as much as possible, but I just can't get it right at this stage after spending all of the time and money on doing it. All right. Alright, now, did I send off the tweet? I did not. That is the tweet done. And now we're ready to go, just like a professional streamer. Yeah, it is brilliant. The Go XLR, I mean, that's where I'm having issues at the moment with my sound. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. But anyway, streamer issues. If you can give me feedback as to how it's all sounding throughout the night or whatever, that's, I don't know how long we'll hang out here for. As long as there's anyone in chat, I'll hang out for a bit. Just chatting about all things that we were going to chat about. There actually has been a little bit of news this week, which is unfortunate that Shippy couldn't make it tonight, because we actually had some news, which it's been very quiet on the streaming front or content creation front the last couple of weeks. So I'm just going to bring up these articles that we were going to talk about. The Ludwig thing was the first thing. I'm just going to open this here. This here article. This one here. Alright, separate that from... What I want to do is throw that up there. Natty! What's going on? Welcome to Streamaholics. Half of the roster is missing this week. I've just finished trying to sort some things out and make sure that everything's actually working. How are you anyway, Natty? Good? Ah, yes. Yeah, this is kind of the Lukey After Dark. I used to have that nice after show scene on my slobs. I was just tinkering around with that before I went live. It is very tinny. Like, my voice, I actually, for some reason with this new I've got like a really good headset now, and I haven't been able to use it. It's taken me a while to set it up until the last couple of nights when I finally got back into it. There is a beverage. I'm on the exquisite tones of one Jackson Daniels tonight, again, as usual. Oh yeah, what have you got? What have you guys got? Is Natty, are you having a tea, Natty, tonight, and straight? What are you on? Yeah, so I get feedback, like a tinny echo is what I'm hearing. Is that what you guys are hearing, or is it just tinny, no echo? Kraken and Pepsi. I haven't tried Kraken. I'm not much of a a rum guy, but I was very intrigued about like spiced drinks like a couple of years ago. A pewter gobbler, that sounds good. So I'm like wondering what these audio issues are. Anyway, as long as it's listenable to you guys, like if it's unbearable or super annoying, we'll do like a technical stream and I'll try and change my audio. But until then, it's a special drinky goblet I bought when I was in Germany. Nice. So you've done some traveling and stuff. I don't like traveling. Me in a different universe travels quite a lot. Flies quite a lot, but myself, no, not much. Sounds like he's in a box. So the new room, right? I've got, how you going, Menthonzo, by the way? Thanks for joining us here tonight. I've basically hung, I've boarded up this entire new room. I've hung doonas, like I went and bought like blankets from Kmart, cheap ones, and it covered the entire walls and glass with doonas, and then hung curtains which cover the entire room. And then I've got my computer set up a couple of meters away from the wall in front of me. But yeah, it still sounds tinny and echoey, and I don't know if it's just the equalization on the Go XLR I've just got to play around with. But I felt that like that too, like maybe there's a bit of an echo in here, but it only works, like, the sound quality is still shit when I have been streaming on Friday nights talking to Shippy, but I don't get the echo. Only with this new headset, the SteelSeries Arctis Pros wireless, only with these do I get an echo, and nothing I try yet has fixed it. So I just try to turn it off altogether, like the feedback, so I don't hear myself at all. Because I don't think you guys are getting the echo. I think you are just getting the tinny part of it. It's hard to explain because it might seem like an echo to you guys, but I think I've got an extra echo. But yeah, so even just in the last couple of days, I've gone and got these wheelie boards that I have like the foam, like they're completely covered on this side with the eggshell foam. And hey, Gamma. And I've got them in here to try and, if there was some echo in the room bouncing around, to try and change that. But yeah, no echo here. Yeah, it just sounds tinny and shit. Yeah. A wired headset. Yeah. Oh, so part of the reason why I went for the wireless is because some of you guys know about the where I'm going back to with my content eventually when I get my uniform, my clothes. Trying to speak in secrets here. Once I get those clothes made for me and I go back to doing my other content that I used to do, I wanted to be able to get up and walk around at some point. I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen until I set the room up better and once I've gotten back into the swing of things, but I wanted to be able to move around a bit. So yeah, Back to the Future. So that's the reason for the wireless. I can hook these up with a wire, and maybe that'd fix the echo that I'm getting, the feedback. It's like a slight delay, and I can't find anything on the internet. I've changed all the things that I can possibly change with that headset to try and eliminate an echo. The mic's switched off. I believe now it's switched off. Hang on, have I got an echo now? No, I still got the echo. It's just very low because I've got it turned down. Yeah, so thanks for joining us anyway. So we're going to talk about streaming things, and if anyone's got any questions or anything that they've heard about in the streaming world that you want me to bring up or talk about, throw it at me. And we'll talk about anything. Yeah, one of those would be alright. I'm not sure what the quality is probably pretty good on those little ones these days too. I think it may be just in the equalization on the Go XLR. I play around with it so much, the different waves and levels in the equalization and for the mic, and I don't really know what I'm doing there, so I maybe need to get into some YouTube videos. I mean, I set it up using a YouTube video like a couple of years ago, but maybe I need to get back into there and try one of those. Anyway, Ludwig. So the first bit of news that we're going to talk about tonight, because there was some streaming stuff happening this week, like it's like the not a good week for us to be having issues and not be able to chat openly, because the last 2 weeks there's been not very much news. But as Shippy and I go, we've been able to turn that into like 2 hours, sorry, an hour's worth of us dribbling about nothing, which is what we do here at Streamaholics. But there has been some news. It's all that I could find. It's nothing like platform really specific. It's about creators that I've got. So it's kind of like the gossip channels that we usually get stuck in. Yeah, exactly. Just dribbling shit. I mean, it's kind of a bit... It's weird having a podcast when you're usually a content creator that streams on their own, and Shippy has the same thing. And for me, when I used to do it as well, like, it's pretty hard to not drive the entire conversation. Like, tonight's going to be fine, isn't it? I mean, I think we do fine anyway. I'm not saying that, but it's hard for us to wrap our heads around other people getting to speak. So I'm still, even after a year, sort of learning. I think we've got a really good system at the moment where I talk for 2 minutes and then Shippy talks for 2 minutes. We don't have a lot of like real back and forth like you're in the same room as someone hanging out. I mean, that might come as well with the longer we go on, but at the moment we kind of just let each other go for minutes at a time, because I think that's what we're used to with streaming anyway, with content. The Gossip Boys. Yeah, so gossiping. Ludwig. So Ludwig's news this week, 7th of June, I got this article from Dexerto. Ludwig explains why he slashed the price of his YouTube channel membership. So Ludwig, and this is a new thing that I actually didn't even realize you could actually do on YouTube. On YouTube with memberships, which is the same as a paid subscription on Twitch, you can actually change the tiers and the prices for your tiers on YouTube. I didn't realize that. So you can charge whatever you want with each of the tiers. And much like Patreon and I guess Twitch as well, like you can add different benefits that you get per tier as well. But anyway, Ludwig has dropped the price of his subscriptions or memberships on YouTube to $1 per membership. So that basically anyone can subscribe to him is the reason behind it is because he's so rich. He's so... The in-person thing is easier. Yeah, I reckon it would be too, yeah. Because you can kind of get more body language of each other, yeah. So is, yeah, Ludwig's $1 membership. So, the reason why, basically, without having to try and read through this article again, basically the reason why Ludwig dropped his memberships down to $1 per membership, like per month, was to allow anybody who wanted to support him, because it was the minimum that you could put it on, I think, allow everybody that wanted to subscribe and get the extra benefits the ability to do so, because he believes that he's at the stage now, being such a big player in the game and having other revenue sources, that his community or his fans shouldn't need to, like, he shouldn't be making the majority of his money from his fans at this point. He sees it as he's got to the point in his streaming career where he wants to be able to turn that into him making income from sponsorships and other deals that he can make with actual corporations and the industry side of things, rather than having to have all of his fans have to support him financially, which is like he didn't want to, he thought he was being the reverse Robin Hood in a way. I think he used those words, the reverse Robin Hood, because when when you donate to somebody or subscribe to somebody, say on Twitch, YouTube and Facebook, obviously we've talked about this, aren't as bad with the revenue splits that they do, but when you're subscribing to someone in America for $5 a month and only $2.50 of that is going through to the actual creator and $2.50 is going to the big corporation in Amazon, it feels like he's taking from the poor and giving to the rich. So he's wanting to reverse that a little bit. Yeah, it's a really good idea, I thought. She limited donations at the beginning of the pandemic. Oh, so she obviously had a set minimum that you could, because I know a lot of streamers have like a minimum before you can get an alert. The big streamers, because you don't want every single donation and sub and follow going off in your stream. So they kind of yeah, so something like that was it as well. So she limited donations. Yeah, and so it's really cool to see from these big creators too, because you want to, I mean, there's also the thought that they'll get, you know, maybe they'll get 5 times the amount of subscribers for $1 rather than $5 as well. So, you know, they might end up with the exact same amount of revenue, but they've kept more people happy and more people involved in the community. Or even if they can get halfway to where they are right now, they're probably still pretty happy with that. But, you know, but on the outwards, yeah, he's outwardly saying that he's doing it for a very good reason, which is to try and give back to his community, I guess, now that he's become super successful in the space. I hate it when I say S words, because that feedback really throws me. I'm going to turn that feedback off altogether. There we go. Now I can't even hear myself. So now I should be right. I used to have this problem when I first started streaming that I couldn't figure out for ages. There was this actual like half a second delay on my audio, and I didn't realize this, and I don't know if this is the same for everybody or whether just some people struggle with it, but when you get that feedback loop in your audio, it actually messes with your brain. Like you literally cannot, like your brain starts rebooting on the spot, and it just fries your brain. You start glitching out. I don't know. It was a really weird phenomenon. It's probably a thing that everyone has, but I know I definitely had it. I wonder if I can show you a screen here. I'm gonna go down anyways. The other Ludwig news. Yeah, it's not. You can't talk like you. Yeah, it's just really weird. You can't function. It's like it literally hacks your brain. It's weird. So the other Ludwig news here on YouTube this week was that he's mentioned, and this is really interesting because he kind of made his name on Twitch. Not that that's where he got his popularity from, but it's what put him sort of over the top as like the biggest streamer on Twitch in 2021 was subathons. So he did the subathon, which lasted for weeks and weeks, where he literally didn't end a stream, and he became the highest subbed to. He became the person with the most amount of subs on Twitch ever at that time, which got him his money. It got YouTube offering him the big contract that he's taken now. I, Rogue, and Caleb are watching this on Mum's phone. Okay, so it looks like my kids have hacked into the stream too. So everyone's language, everyone keep their language to PG. Let's keep it PG, and I'll see if I can too. Yeah, so that's cheating too, by the way. That's so you guys are stealing views. You all need your own phones. I know there's a few iPads in the house. We really should be using all of the devices in the house to watch right now, because you're robbing us of views, and you know, I'll do anything for the views. We know that. I won't do anything for the views. What I do for the views though. Yeah. Hey Sharix, how you going, mate? How you going? Get our rookie numbers up. Yeah, that's right. Get them up. Get them up. All right, so yeah, so subathons. Ludwig, he's made some interesting comments about subathons now that he has already made his millions of dollars off subathons on Twitch. Now that he's moved to YouTube, he actually sees them as very cheap content. Like, he said that they're boring and not very creative, and he didn't really like. In hindsight, he doesn't really feel like that's a good and how to put this, like it's not a very nice way to get money out of people for doing very poor content, is what he's basically saying. So he said that he does plan on doing subathons in the future, but he will 100% do that where all of the money goes to charities, so that he's not benefiting from them himself. But he did label them as boring at the moment. Boring as F, he said. Subathons feel dirty to me. Yeah, it does feel like that. Yeah, and that's kind of for the medium and even bigger creators. Subathons to me really show you actually how hard it is to make money on these platforms and doing streaming. Everyone sees Ninja and Ludwig now, and guys like Pokey and that are killing it, making a lot of money, but it's such a small percentage of the people at the top that are making that money that we all sort of aspire to. It's unrealistic for us, almost everybody else on the platform, 99.9% of the rest of us, to be able to make that sort of money. And so when you get to sort of a medium stage, it's like, oh, how can I really put this over the top in the next couple of months and give myself a bit of a boost, because I'm not quite making enough money as what I thought I would. And or even if you are making enough money, it's just that way to make that extra bit. It is a little bit dirty too. Like, it does feel like everyone's trying to boost their stream, and nothing against anybody who does a subathon. I can actually understand why you would do them, and who knows, I might do subathons in the future too. But to me, it really just speaks to exactly how hard it is to make it in content creation, that subathons are the way to but they're an interesting way to gain popularity too, because people see if you get higher numbers, and obviously whatever small amount of algorithm Twitch does have would probably push streams that are getting more donos put to it. I assume that Twitch's algorithm loves streams that are getting donated to. I mean, why wouldn't it? So we were talking about Ludwig Sharix. Sorry, I'll just catch up now. I've just gone on a bit of a rant. Design Lab controller. I've recently just got my Scuff controller back. In the Radman colors, obviously. Secret Squirrel. So when I finally start playing video games again, oh, do not have to worry about money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone gets into the streaming game, Gamma, because they want to reach those levels of the big streamers. And you might as well give it a go. Like, I find the creative process behind it and the challenge of trying to do it, like, I actually like. I feel like I could safely say there's no way that I'm going to make, Ludwig money and that sort of money, or I don't even feel like I'll ever get 10% of the way to where they are, and I don't think I'm still going to attempt it. I still love doing it. You got to love that, the creative side of things, and love creating content just to start with, and really know that it is a hobby and not worry about whether you do make it or not. But yeah, to not have to worry about money and to be that high up would be really nice. Like, we all started like the streaming and YouTube phase 10 years ago, and then streaming phase sort of like 5 years ago sort of just came at us as like, you can play video games and get paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and people going to throw games and equipment at you for doing it. Like, dream job. But a very, 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 very small percent have made it. And if you've listened to me on Streamaholics, if you're starting streaming today or a small streamer now, I would almost say that there's almost zero chance that you make it on Twitch, unless you can become very popular on somewhere like a YouTube or a TikTok and translate some of that to Twitch, which then helps you reach higher levels of directories on Twitch, which I think is where you can, once you hit a certain level in certain directories, you can then start to rocket to the moon. But you need outside sources to do that on Twitch. As I've always said in the past, YouTube, Facebook, I think, offer starting streamers and very small streamers right now like a better opportunity to grow with a platform that's growing. And YouTube's doing a lot of good things at the moment. Facebook's been progressing over the last 12 months. And YouTube, I think, so... Well, I listened to Harris Heller like 2 years ago talk about, and the Devon Nashes of the world, talk about 2 years ago, if not longer ago, and in saying that when YouTube wants to overtake and become the gaming or live gaming, the biggest player in the game, it'll happen. I think we're starting to see them really make their move with all of the updates that they're doing to the streaming side of things in terms of the features that are available there. It feels like they just had a slow progression of making sure that their live streaming is a good experience, and now they're sort of adding on and they reckon they've got new and more innovative things on the horizon as well. So interesting. Watch that space with YouTube now. I mean, we should have been watching it for the last couple of years. We've been getting told. All right, let me catch up on some of this chat now. This is I really do. I appreciate you guys throwing all this chat at me so I can keep this chat going. I appreciate everyone for being here too on a Friday night, no less, with no shippy. I feel a bit spoilt having some people rock up with no shippy. Yeah, straight. It's, yeah, the sports person thing. That's the same as that's what I compare it to too. Like, a lot of people play rec basketball and local basketball or have a hoop set up at home, right? And yes, we all shoot hoops in the driveway, especially when we're younger, thinking, oh, to play in the NBA, to play in the NBA. Oh, geez, I'd love to play in the NBA. But, you know, there's only like a few hundred players playing in the NBA every year out of like millions of people around the world playing it. So it's much the same. As long as you love doing it, though, just keep doing it. You never know what'll happen. But obviously, the more work you put into it, the more chance you've got of making something out of it, no matter which platform you're on. Lose some body hair seems to work for straight and flexi. What was that comment about? The money thing. Scuff controllers are expensive. They are very expensive. Yes, my old one was falling apart. I had a Scuff before, and I love the Scuff controllers, but it's been about 6-7 years since I've bought my last one, and it was falling apart. Yeah, Straight's big on the charity. That was awesome to see Straight's work in the charity. As long as you're enjoying yourself, that's all that matters. That's right, Sharix. That's right. You gotta keep enjoying it. You see a lot of people that are actually making money on the platform not enjoying it, so it's become a job. And at some point, it probably does become a job if you're making money, because then you got to try and work out a way to keep the money, and you know, it can seem like a job then. But you've got to make sure you try and enjoy it somehow. Change some things, no matter what. Because if you're enjoying yourself and you see somebody, as a viewer, if you see somebody enjoying yourself, you're going to want to hang out more. Like, you got more chance of hanging out and joining somebody's community if you see them having fun. It's that old contagious thing. Like, if I see someone smiling, it almost makes you want to smile too. I mean, not so much myself, but I know I feel like smiling sometimes, even if I don't. If I see someone smiling or happy, it makes me happy inside. I may not smile. But for other people, it might make them smile. But as long as it makes you feel good, people are going to want to hang around. I was being cheeky. Okay. Yeah, about the losing hair thing. I find streaming fun. That's Gamma. That's all you got to do, hey? You got to just keep... And Gamma's somebody that you can tell really, really enjoys streaming, right? And... you know how you always get told, always be doing something interesting or talking about something, even if you've got, like, nobody watching or one person watching, or you've got a few people watching but nobody's chatting. And so you've got to create your own dialogue, whether it's commentating the game or going off on tangents, quite like what I'm doing right now, but if I was playing a video game and talking about the same thing. Gamma is, if you want to see someone talk about whatever comes to his mind without stopping, without even getting prompted from anyone in chat sometimes, even if he's just fired up the stream, and if I drop, because I lurk here and there, right? I don't have a lot of time, very busy during the daytime. I don't get a lot of time to sit in chats, and if I am there, I don't like to say g'day, or I'm just going to be here for a couple of minutes and take off. If I'm only going to be there for 5-10 minutes watching, I often don't say hello, just because I don't want to make someone feel like, oh, I just dropped in to say g'day. I don't know. It's just a thing. I like watching a lot of times. I like being a voyeur sometimes. But yes, Gamma, if you want to see someone just talk all the time, whether somebody's chatting to him or not, he's the guy that you want to check out. Go check out Gamma on his stream, because he's just the epitome of somebody who keeps the dialogue going. And then, you know, if someone drops in a chat, they hear him talking about something random that he's going off on a tangent, talking to himself, but that's what streaming is, right? And then if you're going to hang around, you find what he's talking about interesting, that's when you might put something in chat, and then you've got someone hooked. unless you're good at the game and compete or have presence elsewhere. Yeah, the presence elsewhere is the key when it comes to Twitch. If you're on YouTube and you're going to stream on YouTube, like this is the thing though, right? So we've talked about this on the show on Friday nights. So like 3-4 years ago, when I first started, 4 years ago when I first started streaming, I was told you have to create something somewhere else, probably, and YouTube was the big thing, and it still is kind of the big one, because YouTube has an algorithm. It does feed videos to people if you're making the right kind of videos and making good content. So it actually has a way for you to grow if you can create the right content, right? And so 4 years ago, I was told if you want to make it big on Twitch, you got to make YouTube videos and then start ad streaming to it and try and you know, 10% of your entire viewers that watch you regularly on YouTube might check you out on Twitch. But you know, that might be 30 or 50 people. That'll put you up pretty high in some of the directories on Twitch, and then you can use the directories to grow. Now, in 2022, with Facebook and YouTube being actual players in the streaming game, by the time you've created a good channel on YouTube, you could have 100% of those people watch you on YouTube now, if you just go live on the same page on YouTube. So the game's kind of changed now. I would say, yes, Twitch still needs to do something about having some sort of system for an algorithmic reach on the platform itself. And I think that's where it can stay relevant down the track. Like, just clips. Clips, and also allowing people to upload things like edited clips, like TikTok and YouTube has shorts, Facebook has reels. Allowing people to upload those short 30 seconds to 1 minute things on Twitch and having a massive presence of these short form videos somewhere near the top of your homepage on Twitch would go a long way to adding that sort of benefit to Twitch, so that you might go and watch your favorite streamers, but if you can't find your favorite streamers to watch, you might get stuck watching some shorts or whatever Twitch might call them, tidbits, or I don't know what they might call them, but you might get stuck doing the old, I'm stuck watching all these 30-second clips on Twitch, because they actually make them with a purpose for growing streamers. And but other than that, if Twitch doesn't do anything like that nowadays, if you do make a successful YouTube channel, there's no, unless you're restreaming, I don't think there's any point these days, and this is my opinion, in trying to direct a small percentage of those guys to Twitch. I would just keep them on YouTube. That's just me. But yeah, so back in the day, the Shrouds and that were good at the games and became viral because they grew with the platform, and now they're at the top. Very small amount of people can grow unless you're competitive. But yeah, if you're competitive, no, you could be the best gamer of Call of Duty, say, in the world. If you're just streaming on Twitch, even if it's 60 hours a week in a directory like Call of Duty, good chance that that still doesn't take you anywhere. So you'd still have to create a YouTube video showcasing your abilities in a entertaining way. So we're going back to the, you need to Twitch or somewhere else. You might be able to use a TikTok or a Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or something to display little clips of your play to try and get them over there. The other thing is, like, if you've already made it somewhere else outside of streaming, obviously Twitch is the way to go. YouTube might still be the way to go too, but you see actors and sports stars and rappers and wrestlers and all sorts of people from the outside of gaming. They're doing exactly the same thing as making, like for you and me, it's making a YouTube video, a YouTube channel that becomes popular to try and get them over to Twitch, because I've created something elsewhere. Now I'm bringing some of those people to Twitch. For all these other people that are part-time actors or even experienced actors or musicians or sports stars or whatever, they have created that following elsewhere. Their social medias probably already have a following because of the other thing that they do, and then they bring them to Twitch. So it's still the same thing, but they're just doing something else to become popular first. Hey, Warship's here. How you going, mate? Hope your internet gets sorted out soon, mate. I'm just having a good old. I'm going to lose my voice this week, Warship, because I haven't got you to jump in and take over for a few minutes in between. I think Twitch during the pandemic was making people partner for doing niche things that was new. You've always got to be unique. I think that's one of the things. But same thing, you've got to be putting content out elsewhere for people to find you on somewhere that's got algorithm. It's not totally impossible on Twitch, but it's pretty close to. I'm honestly considering dropping my affiliates like a multi-stream. Yeah, like if you're not relying on that money, and even if you are, but it's sort of stalled or it's fluctuating and it's not really, it's not going higher, like I think that's still a decision that you'd have to try and make. Devin Nash made a video a couple years ago. It's his most popular video still, I believe, and it's something along the lines of why you should never accept Twitch affiliate, and it's basically the same thing. As a small streamer, someone who averages like 3 viewers or whatever you need to get affiliate, so that maybe up to a handful, it might only be one person or 2 people can subscribe to you a month. Twitch now owns you and you can't go elsewhere. And if you're playing the long game, like these days, like you want to be a legit player of any sorts, of any sort of medium or higher magnitude in the streaming and content creation industry, you can't just be on a super oversaturated platform with 3 viewers and they own you. You're only allowed there. And even a little bit higher in viewership, I still believe I still believe for you to go to the next level, you've got to be able to put your content elsewhere. And if it's live content that you do best, I'd seriously considering being able to restream, at least restream. Like when I go back to streaming, I might add Twitch to it if my internet can handle it, but if not, I think I'm going to go the YouTube route, or YouTube and Facebook. I've been on Facebook before. I know how the algorithm's up and down, but I know how it actually has an algorithm at least. So like some of my streams when I started to do semi-well on Facebook a couple of years ago, it would end, and over the next 24 hours, I would receive another 4,000 views. Like say I'd get like, I might have ended the stream and my video had like 12,000 views in the couple of hours that I was live. Over the next 24 hours, another 4,000 or 5,000 people would watch my video, and it might only be 3 seconds, might be 20 seconds. They might sit down and watch 10 minutes of it, but you'd get the chance at least. But if you're doing Facebook or YouTube, I still think you need to do other content to complement your live streams too. Warship, I bet you're irritated, mate. We tried for a while to try and get him up and going, but we just couldn't. I was cruising World of Tanks streamers a while back and found a guy that was having an amazing time, but he was speaking German and couldn't understand him, but his energy was contagious. Yeah, and so you just watched him anyway, even though he's speaking German. But you know you got something there. Well, if I don't have any viewers, I can practice if I'm talking like I do have viewers. Oh yeah, so I'm so far behind in chat. Yeah, exactly, Gamma. You're really good at it. I saw a podcast that I don't think runs anymore, but they've got the most awesome name for a couple of Twitch streamers that used to have their own podcast, and it was called People Who Talk to Themselves. I'd rather have the community than the money. Yeah, some people do it for the community too. If you're not needing the money and you just love and you've got a passion for community, that's why Straight's so good for Goa too. I think it's for that exact same reason. That comment there epitomizes why you are the man for Goa. Not that Goa won't have money or doesn't have money, but because of your attitude for the content side of things, you're the right man for the job. Streaming on Reddit. Okay, so Natty, you have to explain this. Streaming? Reddit streaming? Yeah, no worries, straight. I think that's kind of, that comment kind of hits the nail on the head with yourself. With the, well, because Go is a community, isn't it? Right. I don't actually, like, all you guys I consider friends from the Go community. I don't think that I'm very good at community because I don't have the time to put into community. I really love the shit out of content and trying to entertain people. But other than videos and live streams, I think I've always struggled with the community outside of the content. That's something that I've always struggled with, I think. So I'm not the man for developing community, I don't think. I have ideas for people. I'm very good at coming up with ideas of how they could work and should work, but I'm not very good at implementing and galvanizing community myself. What are we up to? It's already up to 8:20 because we started a bit late. How long have we been going for? Have I just been talking for like an hour straight or something? There's streaming on Reddit. Music and IRL, the biggest categories that pick up well there. Well, there you go. So, oh, thanks, Gamma. Cheers, mate. Cheers, straight. So it's kind of like, so if you're a gamer, I mean, gaming is pretty big on Reddit too, but I wonder if anyone's caught on to the live streaming part of it. Might be the place to check out if you're, because that's one of the things as a content creator and as a live streamer, is trying to come up with all the places to put your content. And if you can find a place to try out and that place happens to then take live streaming seriously, you never know when you could be on to the next Justin TV and be at the front. I wouldn't put all of my time into the Reddit live streaming though, because it's such a an offshoot sort of place, but you never know. Interesting though, but I have to look into that. What other news do we have here? Let's have a look. Okay, so this is one thing. We're talking about viral videos and that, right? Get a load of this. This was just some news from this week, right? I'm going to read this article. Okay. Just, I hope you're all sitting down for this one. Okay, so a gaming chair has somehow gained over 100,000 followers on TikTok. And last I checked this morning, it was 170,000. They've put out 4 videos in 4 days. That's how much of following they've got. So, I don't know, can we show TikTok videos or can I even do it? I don't know what scenes I've even got here. I could probably add a display capture. I don't know if you can watch TikTok on browser, can you? Anyway, we won't watch it. We won't watch it. Maybe I can put the link into chat and then you can check this out later. So the TikTok page is called Real Chair Buzzer. And if I save or copy this link and chuck it in the Twitch chat. Sorry, I'm just on my phone to do this. Hey Star, what's going on? Woot woot. Oh, thanks for the subscribe. Sorry, I haven't got alerts up and running. TikTok is the Wild West. It very much is the Wild West. I've seen some people make turn their TikTok into a really they've been able to transfer some of their viewers from TikTok over to Twitch pretty successfully. Don't know how they did the TikTok thing. That's the link there. Okay, so I'll read this article that I've got. It's common to make social media accounts for different things, whether they be plush toys, food, or even your pets. But TikTok content creators have had their days numbered as a new account has emerged. The star of the show is a sentient, inanimate object, a gaming chair. The TikTok account, Real Chair Buzzer, is an account based on Twitch streamer Jack Buzzer's gaming chair. This gaming chair doesn't speak, communicating only through spinning chair movements. And despite that, the account has just reached 100,000 followers in less than a week. So, if you check out the videos, it's basically the camera on his chair, and he feeds off of comments that his chat will feed him, obviously, during the week or in his Twitch chat about his chair. You know how people leave the chair and go to go have a toilet break or grab a drink, and they leave their chair there, and chat talks to the chair? Well, he makes a video where the question or the comment pops up on the screen, and he must be under the table doing about this. Like, that's the chair shaking his head. That's the chair's excited. And they're little 20-second clips where the chair reacts to some viewer comments, basically. And it's just gone viral because it's stupid, and people seem to love stupid shit. But yeah, so a streaming chair. So if you can come up, we talked about being unique before. It was a good chair, I could justify watching it. Yeah, so here, I'll just read this next bit because that kind of ties into that. Jack created the account because of a challenge to see if the gaming chair would get more followers than the Twitch streamer. So it probably did. I don't know how many followers Jack Buzzer has, but I'm assuming Real Chair Buzzer has quite a bit more following than him. Actually, I didn't check. It was at 170,000 this morning. It's at 182, so it's got another 10,000 just today. But what started as a joke ended up being taken seriously as the account grew rapidly. The chair didn't respond to the viewers when the account first started, but the chair began to show more emotion later on, especially when the account was about to reach a large follower milestone. Followers for both Jack and his chair have started their campaign to get Chair Buzzer a friend. In other words, they want this gaming chair to get an official sponsor from gaming chair brands like Secret Labs. So they're starting a petition to try and get sponsorship from, say, Secret Labs, so that his chair could get a friend, and they can do co-streams, I guess. Okay, so Jack Buzzer is a Twitch streamer with more than 97k followers on Twitch, and he has 3.1 million followers on TikTok. So actually, Jack Buzzer doesn't have as much as a chair. So actually, now thinking about it, Chair Buzzer is not as famous as Jack Buzzer. So this story just became way less cool than what I thought it was. I should have read the whole article before I brought it to you guys. It ain't no Herman. Yeah, like, I used to have like a $400 racing gaming chair. Most uncomfortable piece of shit I've ever sat on in my entire life. I actually now own like this thing, and I don't even know what brand this is, but it's like a nice ergonomic brand from like Office Works or something like that. Wink, I think it was. Because I just tried them out, and this is kind of what I need. I highly suggest, no matter what brand you get, talking about chairs, just getting an ergonomic, like a realistic ergonomic chair. And maybe once you got the money down track, you can get like a really expensive ergonomic chair. But it's the thing that people don't look at a lot when they're buying the cameras and the screens and the PS5s and splashing out on big computers and stuff like that, and nice microphones, of course, is that you're going to be sitting down for hours and hours at a time, sometimes every day if you stream lots, that you need to have like a good chair. You've got the Hermans, yeah. Feels like sitting in a cloud. Yeah, so the Hermans will be like and they're like really incredibly ergonomic sort of chairs, aren't they? Like, I don't even know if Secret Labs are good for your back. Like, looking at a Secret Labs, it just looks like a fancy racing chair as well. So they are the ergonomic chairs. Yeah, so they're the high end of the ones that you should be looking at. Nothing compares. Yeah. So I really love this cheap It's not cheap. It's still a few $100s, but it's just nothing fancy about it. And it's really way better than a racing chair, which I spent same, if not more on originally. But yeah, highly recommend ergonomic chairs. So, real chair buzzer just shows you that if you can create something that's unique, and you know that it's meme worthy for TikTok is another thing that I'd say probably is good for TikTok. Like it's so stupid, but it's easy to do as well. So they've hit the nail on the head with the type of content that you can probably do on TikTok, and good on Jack Buzzer. All right, what else do we have here? Saikuno. Okay, Saikuno, as we've been talking about on the show before, made the switch to YouTube after receiving an offer from YouTube to go there, which was obviously pretty high. We've talked about how some of his friends have said that it was ridiculously high compared to Twitch's offer. But Twitch also, in email, or not email correspondence, actual physical mail correspondence, misspelt his name. It's Sikkuno. I believe they spelled it SU instead. And he kind of used that as his last straw when deciding. He had this YouTube deal sitting in front of him. So he made the switch to YouTube. And the figures have come out from his first 6 months on the platform. And I can't show you this again because I don't have the links to it, but basically his last 6 months on Twitch, his hours watched were at 1.52 million hours watched. They, in his first 6 months, sat at 1.46 million hours watched. So basically no change. Really small change overall. His peak viewers on Twitch were 30,000, 41,000 on YouTube. So, but moving to a new platform, that would have probably been at the very start when he first appeared there. His average viewership went from 14,800 to 14,900, basically the same. But his total airtime, basically the same, 102 hours to 98 hours. So it seems, we'll talk about like people moving over to YouTube and not being able to take their viewership with him. That to me tells me that Twitch viewers are making the switch as well, or probably already watch YouTube. Maybe they didn't check out the live side of things as much, but are now starting to. I think the more and more of these big streamers that are going over to YouTube, the viewers are following them over there, or at least tuning in once they do. So to him, it's an awesome move for him because he hasn't had to change anything about what he's doing. It'll be interesting to see how he goes in the next 6 months. I would imagine his YouTube would drop off a little bit. Depending, like maybe he'll find new viewers over there and it won't matter so much. That would be the hope for him. But it's yeah, YouTube. I think that's where YouTube does have the ability to be a major player because it is the biggest video content watching platform in the world. All they've got to do is switch on lives and push lives, and they can do it. Easily convert viewers to live viewers. I mean, TikTok's done it. TikTok was a short form video site. They then have now extended their videos to up to 3 minutes, I believe you can make TikTok videos now, when they were originally 30 or 60. And TikTok's coming from the place where you used to only make like 6-second videos. And now they've added lives and people are getting pushed live videos on TikTok now too. So it's not like a platform has to be, this is the place to watch short form content or what have you. You're going to, these platforms are now starting to be able to convert and teach their viewers about the other content, and it's working. And I don't think YouTube would be any different. And like I said before, once you find it is hard to find the live gaming videos on YouTube, especially on a mobile device, but you can find them. But once you find live streams, your app then on your phone, which is where I watch a lot of my content, it then starts to immediately, and Facebook's the same, once you can find the live stuff. Luckily Facebook has like the gaming tab that you can go directly to. and actually has an app still. But YouTube dropped their app a couple of years ago. The YouTube gaming app. Facebook Gaming has its own separate app from the main thing. So if you want to only watch gaming streams, you can literally just watch gaming streams. But even on Facebook's regular app and on YouTube's regular app, as soon as you start and find the live streams, and yes, they are a bit, because it is amongst other type of content. Once you do find their live streams, your app then within 24 hours will start pushing you other live streams in the same genre that you were checking out. They're very smart and very onto it. That's the power of these algorithms on these other platforms. I think it helps, yeah. And probably already have accounts set up in their preferred tag, yep. Whereas going to Facebook Gaming, you either need to use your real name or set up your own page. Yeah, I think going from Twitch to Facebook, you would see probably a big drop off. Like say Saikunu went to Facebook, he wouldn't. Obviously, Facebook doesn't have the same amount of viewership, but then again, YouTube doesn't have the same amount of viewership either. Like Twitch has 70% of the overall watched hours or whatever in the world. So in saying that, actually, it is surprising that he was able to carry over the same amount of viewership on YouTube. So that actually is really impressive now too. But yeah, Facebook, I think he would have had a huge drop off. Facebook, you kind of, although everyone in the world seems to watch YouTube, you could bring people between, I think, Facebook and YouTube a little bit better, with more people being on YouTube, obviously. But going from Twitch to Facebook, I think, is a completely different ballgame. It just is. You see people do it and they just don't have the same amount of viewership. There is viewers on Facebook for people who want to grow from the start. That's why I keep saying people that are new or haven't been doing it for that long or are struggling to find viewership on a Twitch. That's where I would say go try YouTube and Facebook. But once you have popularity on Twitch, it'd be very hard. It'd be like when Ninja went to Mixer, I think. Very similar to that. Yeah, so the way I've always looked at it, yeah, I think it's very, yeah, so I do agree with that. I think that going from Facebook between Twitch and YouTube, people probably already have accounts set up with similar gamer tags, or they just have accounts set up both ways. So someone going to YouTube isn't a huge deal. If you really like them, I already watch YouTube, I'll just watch their live streams over here. I'll probably already watch their YouTube content that they're probably already creating on there. So it's no big deal. Which is this is also a downside for Twitch though, because Twitch has made it on their platform by not having other forms of content and discoverability on their platform. They've made it so that other people have to make YouTube videos to become popular on Twitch. But now, because YouTube's in the live streaming game and taking it seriously and starting to add all these features, and sounds like they're really turning on the switch, now people are already on YouTube, and so they might as well stay there if they're a smaller creator, if they're starting to gain popularity there, like we already spoke about. But for a big creator on Twitch, especially if you get an offer from YouTube, but even if you don't, and the money's similar in terms of a contract, you can rest assured that you've got a good chance at least of having almost the same viewership when you go to YouTube, maybe, because Twitch people and viewers and content creators all use YouTube as well, because Twitch has made it that people on Twitch have to use YouTube to get Twitch to work. So, you know, Twitch is, in the long run, and maybe they haven't foreseen this as well, but in the long run, they made it easier now that we're in 2022 and moving forward for their own creators to just switch over and not lose too much, because Twitch has made it that they've had to use YouTube all these years anyway to try and get people to watch them on Twitch. The more and more I think about these things, the more and more things come up where I'm like, man, this is really not thought through, or how is this going to last? Like, we've talked about it on Streamaholics a bit, and I know that I'm always of the opinion that Amazon lately has dropped its cuts that it's been giving, or is going to potentially. The theory is that maybe they leaked that information to see what everyone's reaction would be, rather than the way they usually do it, where they blog about it and just release something and the whole community loses their marbles. So now they've started to cut back the revenue that they dish out to the creators, therefore keeping more for themselves, and they're starting to tell their creators to push more ads because it's better for them. It feels like, and I said this to Shippy the other week, and I mentioned it last year as well, when does Amazon get to the point where they've got all of that they think they can get out of Twitch and start looking for that buyer? They've already made their money from the live streaming technologies that it's bought and made money elsewhere with their own platforms where people can go along and use their live streaming technology. They've already got a platform for that. It's not Twitch. I think they've used it for companies and stuff to sign up for, and they've apparently made lots out of that. They've already made their money they bought Twitch for back on that. So now it's just about making Twitch look more profitable, therefore to increase the sale price. Or they're really, really trying to make as much money as possible because Amazon isn't happy with how much money they're making. In which case, I still think they sell. I 100% still think that in the next probably 2 years, Twitch probably, this is my own opinion, that they might sell. And does Google buy Twitch, eliminating the competition, a la WWF buying out WCW in 2001? Just eliminate the competition, and now everybody has to stream here. They'd probably pay the money just to do that. Yeah. They've always, to me, seemed desperate for money. And that's always been a big worry. They're not interested in reducing their cut at all. And people say, oh, they don't have to. They're the biggest players in the game. Yeah, so they could easily do that too. Just, they are putting a lot of focus into YouTube. But if Twitch turned around, I think they bought Twitch, what was it, for like $1 billion or 900 something million dollars? So let's say $1 billion, I think, with the sale was like 5-6 years ago, whatever it was. With the money that they've made on the other technology for live streaming, would Twitch just sell for $2 billion, and would Google go, $2 million? There you go. $2 million is nothing. If it means that we get 9 million not that 9 million creators will continue streaming, but there's like 9 million creators on Twitch, or accounts that go live on Twitch. 970 million, yeah, so close to, let's say, $1 billion. I mean, they only need to sell it for $1 billion or $1.2 billion to make some of their money back. Plus, they've already made the money on the live technology, which they get to keep. And Amazon's just like wipes their hands of it. So the question then becomes is, does Google think that, no, we'll just play, because, you know, this is the thing you got to think about from Google's perspective, right? Yes, they're building YouTube, and YouTube will probably be successful. Well, if YouTube's successful, but I'm talking about the gaming live stream side of things, right? YouTube gaming. Do they think that YouTube gaming just continues to eat away at Twitch, but may or may not get to 50% of Twitch's size, or maybe they get to 70% of Twitch's size eventually? But if Twitch sells to, say, Tencent or some other rich company elsewhere in the world and continues to operate, then YouTube still has to try and eat away. And some people will probably switch then. You might see a small increase in YouTube, might get a bit of a boost out of Amazon selling to somebody else. But what if YouTube buys Twitch for, let's just say, $2 billion? Then they don't have a competitor come in and keep Twitch alive to compete against. For the sake of $2 billion or whatever they might be able to buy, if the asking price is too high, they won't worry about it. But let's say Google's willing to go, oh, $2 billion, oh, we'll make that back in a year with the amount of people that would just influx YouTube with their live streaming. They might, you probably find the YouTube gaming app would come back. Or would they just integrate Twitch? Like, Facebook is interesting. I would probably buy Twitch and keep Twitch, and then they don't have to worry about. They've already got their Facebook gaming app. I don't know. That might be a bit hard to integrate it into their platform. I don't know. But it's just interesting. Someone will buy Twitch, which means it'll stay around if YouTube doesn't buy it. as a competitor? Or does YouTube get to buy it and eliminate the competition, knowing that all of those people are going to come to YouTube? And all of the viewers, like it's not the creators really that you want. It's just the fact that they've got all of the viewers with them that will come. That's where the money comes from, obviously. That's where all of the ad views on the live streams. Okay. Yeah, they could easily buy Twitch and then keep Twitch open, but link the two platforms somehow. So, you know, when you go into YouTube and you have to try and find the gaming tab to go to that. So maybe you click on a Twitch tab and it goes to YouTube Twitch. And yeah, I think they would rebrand down the track and integrate it more into YouTube, therefore basically eliminating it anyway. But they could easily keep Twitch open and just make all of their, and they'd have to link the platforms though, essentially killing off Twitch, because you'd want to be able to go into the YouTube tab and watch people's live streams on their YouTube channels, but somehow have those live streams have its own section, which is the current Twitch platform. I don't know how you do that, or if it's possible, but that's what they'd want to do. But yeah, I think maybe if they've got some regulators not allowing them to buy out competition, which it happens all the time, doesn't it? Disney's buying everything. Like, there's still, it's not like they're buying all of the competitors. There's technically Facebook Gaming. There's technically Trovo. There's technically Brime. Not Brime. I don't think Brime's a thing. There's technically, I forget about the other one. The one that was kind of like the Mixer creators went to it. It was kind of like, we're trying to revive Mixer. I think it'd be pretty hard. Like, just look at Disney buying everything up. And the WWE thing's a perfect example. Like, they bought a competitor, but that was 20 years ago. More. Like, similar thing. Like, we're right now seeing like the old wrestling Monday Night Wars between Twitch and YouTube. And Facebook's like the ECW in the background, like the smaller promotion. I don't think Facebook's going to get bought out. No one can buy Facebook Gaming. It's part of their platform. But I don't think Facebook is really making sure this. Facebook is making huge moves in the gaming sphere. Not just the live game streaming and the content creation side of things, but in the gaming arena altogether. With the metaverse and Creator. It's a new sort of platform that it gives you the ability. It's available on like other, I don't know if it's like Steam or Ubisoft or something like that. You can buy a game called Creator, where you can create your own games and have friends join in. Like, you create your own worlds of games, you know, like a Minecraft or a Fortnite, and have your friends come and join you on these games. That's a Facebook property, and Facebook's about to integrate that into the Facebook platform. And there's VR, like the Facebook's big on VR. So Facebook's, I don't think, going anywhere when it comes to gaming, and that's why they're really pushing the Facebook gaming side of things too. And the fact that they're pushing the Reels over from Instagram, they've got Instagram as well, but the fact that they're pushing the Reels on Facebook, and the podcasts, I believe, have been shut down now. The fact that you could launch audio podcasts directly from your page on Facebook was a really interesting thing that they tried out for the 6 to 12 months over there. But they're kind of shutting that down. It mustn't have took off as good as they thought, but they keep trying these things too, which is when they launched that, like, must have been almost 12 months ago now, somewhere between 6 and 12 months ago. Like, they launched that podcast for pages feature by having 3 or 4 gaming streamers, content creators, gaming ones. They were gaming ones too. I believe they were all gaming ones. The ones that I knew were gaming ones. There was like 4 or 5 of them. They joined in on the very first live podcast with Mark Zuckerberg to launch it and they had a podcast. And it was, and when they used to have that ability, you'd go live and it'd appear at the top of your page, and they were pushing the alerts like buggery on their platform. Like if you had a creator that had set up a schedule for a live podcast show using their page, every time I opened up Facebook, it reminded me at the very top what creators had podcasts coming up. Like they really pushed that feature. Obviously it didn't work out. People weren't interested in doing the podcasts. For whatever reason, they decided not to continue with it, but now they're onto Reels. Reels is what they're really pushing now, which works because Reels is it's like watching TikToks and Shorts on there. All right, so there's not really a lot else here that I've got. I think that's about it. There was a couple other little things, but nothing. We're getting a bit late now. We're getting a bit on now. I've been here for, must be an hour now. All right, so amazing. Thanks for everyone for joining in the chats. I really like just shooting the shit about streaming. Like 1 hour and 16 minutes. Yeah, I've got to go. I know we've got kids having sleepovers tonight, and I've got to go help out. What I want to do though is, has anybody got anybody that we want to go to check out live in a little raid that we usually finish off with?
We're scientists, we're engineers.
Trying to look see who I've got on here that I'm following that might be live. If anyone else has got one live, straight, you got someone? Oh, the Lyrical, he's...
They need to adjust that last camera's position. Wait, this one.
The Lyrical's great. Yeah, we went Stormy last week. Marcus Woofy. I don't know who that is. Is that the name of the channel? Exactly how you wrote it? Nerds of the West. Yeah, I've done them a few times. I'll just see if the Lyrical's on for a bit. I don't know if anyone knows the Lyrical. He would know who I am. Oh shit, he's got 82 people watching him right now. He's usually sits around the 10 to 20 people, but he's an amazing content creator, I think. Plays music. Marcus Woofy. Oh, Marcus Starscout. I remember the name. I'm going to go show you guys a guy called The Lyrical, because I think he's... I don't think we've rated him before. Because we usually raid... I'm never usually onto it, so we usually raid someone from that Shippy's brought up. Oh, okay. Lentric. Okay. Electric. Well, okay, so I'm gonna go show you the Lyrical. Just to show you this guy. He sings. I like just kicking back on the couch and watching him sometimes because he just plays requests, and I think he's got an amazing voice. I like listening to him on his strumming his old guitar. Anyway, I believe he's got a podcast himself called The Game Train, and he has a he also has a history in radio, I think. So we'll go check him out. But anyone else who's in chat wants to check out someone from the Goal community that around, we got Stormy. I think it's Stormy Plays, isn't it? Or Lentric, Marcus Woofy. If you don't want to check out the Lyrical, you can feel free to jump along to one of those guys and check them out. People that are part of our community, which is good. But after I saw the Lyrical was on, I just wanted to show you guys the Lyrical. You might not like him. That'll be unfortunate. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate the chats tonight. Yeah, let's go say g'day to Lyrical. He's about to start another song, so we'll go check him out. Cheers, guys. Really appreciate you guys for coming and spending some time for me. Hey, legend. Thanks for watching the show.
if you want to make sure that you're up to date with all of the Game on Oz content here on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.